Tonight, the 9th-seeded squad from Japan steps onto the big stage at United Stadium in Towson, Maryland, to tangle with top-seeded Team USA, now just 3 wins away from its ultimate goal. This is the last of quarterfinal Wednesday. Earlier, England and Canada pushing through to a semifinal date tomorrow, while Australia is eager to see the outcome of this one. It is so nice to see you again alongside Courtney Martinez-Connor, a 5-time national champion at Maryland. I'm Joe Beninati. The U.S. has overwhelmed many of its opponents in this tournament. Where does Japan rank on that list?
You know, they are consistently one of the top 10 teams in the world. I think it's their ability to provide opportunities for their players. Each and every year, they travel internationally, they play collegiate teams here in the States, and then they also invite teams to come over in the summer to have some extra games. So when you play against the best, you're going to continue to be there yourself.
Team Japan had no trouble racing past New Zealand yesterday. This event has put the spotlight on Kokoro Nakazawa.
Kokoro has a bright future ahead of her in international play. This is her first event with the senior national team. However, she previously was an all-world U19 member, but she has already made her mark during this World Championship.
The U.S., a lopsided shutout winner over Hong Kong, China yesterday. Kylie Ohlmiller had a field day.
Kylie Ohlmiller is a versatile player, a dodger, a feeder, a cutter. She rides hard. She's a triple threat offensively, but she is innovative on the offensive end of the field, throwing behind-the-back passes, maybe even some shots too.
We are ready to rumble. It's the U.S. and Japan with plenty of company on hand. The opening draw right after these words. Hey, look, the rain is back. You're watching the 2022 World Lacrosse Women's World Championship on ESPN. Umbrellas are a must. Tonight, the 9th seeded squad from Japan steps onto the big stage at United Stadium in Towson, Maryland, to tangle with top-seeded Team USA, now just 3 wins away from their ultimate goal. This is the last of quarterfinal Wednesday. Earlier today, England and Canada pushing through to a semifinal date tomorrow, while Australia is eager to see the outcome of this one. It is so nice to see you again alongside Courtney Martinez-Connor, a 5-time national champion at Maryland. I'm Joe Beninati. The United States has overwhelmed many of its opponents in this tournament. Where does Japan rank on that list?
In Japan, they're consistently fast and athletic, but I think it's their dedication to providing opportunities for their players, oftentimes taking them overseas, playing against the collegiate teams here in the States. That propels them to just be on a course to get better and better each and every year.
Team Japan racing past New Zealand yesterday. This tournament has been a spotlight on Kokoro Nakazawa.
Kokoro has a bright future ahead of her in international play. This is her first event with the senior team. She was previously all-world for the U19 team, but she's already made her mark here during this World Championship.
United States, a lopsided shutout winner over Hong Kong, China yesterday. Kylie Ohlmiller had a field day.
Kylie is such a versatile player. I love the fact that she's a prolific dodger, feeder, and cutter. It's a triple threat offensively, but her innovation on attack, often throwing behind-the-back passes, even shots, are what sets her apart.
She's been great throughout the tournament. We're ready to rumble, U.S. and Japan. Plenty of company on hand. Opening draw right after this.
Every player knows the skills you learn on the field can be the foundation for anything you choose to do in life.
Thank you for the sweat, the tears, the pride, and for the celebration we share.
When I reach for a stick, it's like I'm shaking hands with history. Thank you for connecting me to a greater community.
It's more than a game to me. It's a gift to be a positive force in young athletes' lives. And I'm thankful I can help the next generation develop a love for the sport.
When I was his age, those moments on the field meant everything. Thank you for giving us a way to stay connected, even as they get older.
We're growing beyond goals on the field.
And our futures are united.
You give me the opportunity to fuel aspirations
And to ignite potential.
So thank you, Lacrosse.
For inspiring me to be me.
We are better,
Safer.
And wiser together.
And we're building a stronger future for everyone.
It's coming. The world is coming to San Diego. 30 nations, 30 teams. Only one will be crowned world champion. There's nothing like playing for your country. This is the pinnacle of sport. Be here as legacies are forged and history is made.
Three teams have already pushed through to the semifinals. Japan and United States matching up for the last opportunity to reach the semis of the World Championships. Yoko Shibata is the head coach for Japan. Japan coming out of Pool E. They have a perfect record. Jenny Levy, similarly a 5-0 mark for the United States. Coach Levy with a rain poncho on as the heavens opened up about 20 minutes before face-off today. It has been another severe weather day in the area, but earlier, Team Canada able to slide past the Czech Republic. The United States hopes to do likewise and land the top 4 seeds in the final 4 of this Women's World Championship underway. Joe Beninati, Courtney Martinez-Connor with you. Japan in the white, Team USA in the gray, and it is Team Japan who will get the first offensive possession. Chisa Kobayashi starting things for the Japanese squad They led the World Championship pool play and goal scoring. This is a high-powered team.
Offensively, I expect for them to be very deliberate, yet very explosive in their moves. Haven't seen that a lot from the opponents of Team USA, oftentimes coming in a little bit scared. That will not be Japan.
Becca Block gets the defensive assignment on Nakazawa. That's interesting, as Japan's top threat wears number 11 in the white. Marie McCool, who has been a goal-scoring demon for the United States, glides ahead, looking for numbers, finds North with a rocket upstairs. Charlotte North makes it 1-0.
All the way from the defensive end of the field, Marie McCool coming up with a big play, moving her feet, making some contact on Kobayashi, accelerating, using her speed, ultimately getting it into the hands of Charlotte North. Charlotte North doing her patent wind-up, her power shot in transition. Team USA had numbers due to the immense speed of Marie McCool.
North, who hails from Dallas, Texas, the reigning two-time Tewaaraton Award winner. For those of you who may not be familiar with that award, it's the equivalent of college football's Heisman. Charlotte has 2 of them. Her teammate, Taylor Cummings, is the only person to ever win it 3 times. The United States needing just about a minute to get on the board. North does it again. As we get a missed draw, the officials, Lenka Peshkova, Hannah Burnett, Paul Bibby, and Annika Alterhane, as Taylor Cummings, in that familiar red headband, gets back to work. In the World Championships, these rosters are limited to 18. We play 10 on 10, 6 on 6 inside the restraining line. There is no shot clock. Not as if the United States needs to be encouraged to go to goal. They go there regularly and with success. Paros looking inside. That one rattles around near the frame. Handled by Apuzo, who has been an assist wizard in the tournament. Interior looking for Cummings. Not that time. Iwata comes up with it for Japan. She's in the nets. 69% save percentage for Maiko Iwata in this tournament.
We already see a bunch of stick miscues. The pockets are quite wet. It was raining all during warm-ups, continues to rain. The pockets and the sticks are much different than when it's dry. It can either create a very slick atmosphere where the ball can come flying out, or there can be a lot of hold, a lot of whip in the stick, changing their shot, changing their passes. So keep an eye on that throughout this game as conditions continue to be wet.
Anything a player can do. Often we see golfers in rainy conditions putting the grip of the club underneath their arms to shield it from the precipitation. Can you do something like that to help your grip with a lacrosse stick?
You know, their backup sticks, they're gonna keep as dry as possible.
Nakazawa inside, she scores! Kokoro Nakazawa.
Nakazawa, we talked about her. Love her speed, her aggressiveness to the cage. As soon as the ball gets into her stick, her eye is on the goal. That nice little long jab and drag right here, getting the defensive player to bite like she was gonna feed it across. Team USA prepared, however, slides a tad bit late. Nakazawa putting Japan on the map. We talked about their intensity on the field. They work hard, tying up the score nice and early.
Courtney, I know you've referenced this from time to time. Most women's lacrosse players play without gloves. Now, these are inclement conditions. It's raining heavily, and we're seeing a lot of gloves being worn by the Team Japan side.
You know, they are prepared. Ideally, gloves do not allow for that hand slipping up and down the stick. Many of the Team USA players just electing to put tape on the stick, but tape can become slippery as well.
Suzuki going to goal. Risa Suzuki for Team Japan in white. Working on the perimeter with help from Kobayashi. 6 on 6 at this end of the field. Nakazawa has traded a tally with Charlotte North. It's 1-1, 5 minutes in the 15-minute opening quarter, running time until the last 30 seconds of each of the first 3 frames. Again, Becca Block attached to Nakazawa. Block will trade her off, and Kokoro will take it for a little ride. Suzuki, shaded off the flip, closing in Takano. Liz Hogan in the goal for the United States, trying to help there defensively. Emma Trenchard poking it loose. Ground ball comes up for Taga. Maya Taga 5 in the white against Mercer. Alice keeping her at stick's length. Passing play to the inside, nice catch. Hogan made a great save there on Kame. Liz Hogan, who had the combined shutout yesterday with Kaylee Waters, did not have to make a save against Hong Kong, China. There was one right off the jump.
Joe, that offensive possession, they had been so patient. Probably should have held on to that shot, making it a little easier for Liz. That no angle.
Traynor, great pass. Quick stick score. Sam Apuzo.
Oftentimes when Kayla Traynor for Team USA has her defensive player hung up, that means stuck on that top side of the goal circle. Sugaya, it makes it difficult in order to match her as well as any potential cutters coming, because she may need help to the left and the right, so her teammates are prepared to slide, but then that means that a cutter has a better chance of getting a step on her defensive player.
Traynor has such a wonderful chemistry with Sam Apuzo, and that's something that Jenny Levy was discussing with us throughout the tournament, how these star players, so many players who can take over a game all by themselves, are playing with a very collective mindset in this tournament.
They are. Those two have been connected ever since. Charlotte North was a longtime assistant coach at Boston College with Sam Apuzo. Now they coach against one another. But oftentimes when you connect on the field.
Cummings with numbers, and North rips another one upstairs. Charlotte North with a blazing high fastball.
Team USA showing their speed. Straight from the draw control, Taylor Cummings, one of the fastest, most competitive players on the field, immediately getting into Charlotte North. Wind up. This is what the fans come to see. She gets that ball set in her stick. It has a lot of whip in it. She's able to create even more torque and power.
Interesting how we thought we might hear and see how Charlotte would react, Courtney, in light of the stick controversy. She's had a couple of goals taken down due to an illegal cross.
And with the wet rain, that potentially could bag out her stick even more. Obviously, referees not electing to take a look at that stick. It was a matter of her touching the head when we talked to Jenny Levy, something that they didn't realize.
That's a technicality, right? That the officials took advantage, used according to the rule book.
Right, in NCAA play and international play, you cannot touch the plastic on the head of your stick. However, the next time it was just the strings becoming loose, which that is a concern when it's weather like this. However, her first 2 goals of the game have been fine. That's definitely something she's going to want to keep an eye on as the play goes on.
Kobayashi off the dodge, makes the flip to Monica Jones. Roll dodge here on the outside from Fuji. She passes to the interior. Higa is there, sandwiched by Cummings and Mercer, and it's the takeaway for the United States. Hogan with a 50-yard missile to Peros. Fast break numbers for the USA. McCool 4-on-3, going to the goal, and she sent it high. Rarely has Marie McCool missed in this tournament. 15 tallies heading into play in this quarterfinal action. Apuzo hovering back behind. Worked over there by Tomura. McCool outside the 11-meter fan in World Championship play. Cummings on the go, getting downhill against Mizuno. Apuzo for Traynor, marked by Sugaya. Beautiful split dodge, Kayla drawing 2, feed it inside. No put away there for Cummings just yet. She's challenged quickly. Iwata coming out of the goal circle, and the keeper for Japan will start the clear.
Japan's defense is moving and sliding so quick. They're showing their athleticism. They're hedging, they're helping. I mean, slightly moving towards that Dodger side, wanting to deter anyone from taking a quick, easy one-on-one. Their agility, some of the fastest that Team USA has seen. in this tournament besides those opponents within Pool A.
Head coach Shibata said for Japan, for them to be playing at their best, they want to see a transition game. They want quickness. They want 3 passes up the field, bang, 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 get shots. So far, the United States has packed it in pretty well as Suzuki goes to cage. Suzuki with room, fires high on Hogan, racing to the end line, closest to the ball on a shot where and when it leaves the field, gets possession. This stays to Japan and Miho Sakurai. Sakurai, who had a hat trick against Switzerland earlier in the tournament. 2 goals and an assist against New Zealand yesterday in the round of 16. If you missed it, on this quarterfinal Wednesday, Nakazawa going to the goal with an ankle-breaking move there on Parros. Follow-up chance, just deflects in. It just curled up over the cross of Hogan. It's a 3-2 game.
As we watch this replay, we see the U.S. defenders slip and slide. Their footing is very difficult inside right here. Monica Jones profiting off the job, but the dodging job by Nakazawa. We see 1 slip, 2 slip. Ali Mastriani, their footing is going to be very important. You want to take smaller steps. Break your feet down. The larger your step, the more likely it is that you are going to fall. So being super careful, making sure that those who are adjacent are ready and prepared in case there is a slippage of play.
As you see, the rain continues to pelt down. This is field turf at Unitas Stadium in Towson, Maryland. 3-2 for the United States. Monica Jones, the last goal scorer. She started playing high school in Lacrosse, in Tokyo in high school. Her mom is Japanese. She studies now in college at Rikyo University. She was a member of the U19 Japanese national team, and she's been very good throughout pool play in this World Championships, her first. 2.5 to go, opening frame. Mastriani leaves it. Arsenal playing catch with the Charlotte North, who's already scored twice in this opening quarter. Arsenal finding her teammate Traynor, dodging in against Sugaya. Kayla Traynor back behind the goal, Apuzo. No shot clock. 6-on-6. Sugaya against Traynor. Makes the pass to the fan, gets it right back, and there is a whistle called off of that Arsenal relay. Dempsey Arsenal will have a free position shot. Head coach Jenny Levy says her group can be better from the 11-meter. The officials are going to ask Kayla Traynor to take it. Traynor with a windup, lets it fly, score! Short side.
Kayla Traynor with a wind-up 11-meter free position shot. Slightly farther away from the 8-meter in the NCAA collegiate game. She is just as powerful as a wind-up as Charlotte North, but she also has the ability to run that ball in incredibly quick off of the line as well.
Hat trick against England, 2 goals and 4 assists against Australia. Another 2+2 against Canada in the tournament opener. Traynor on the board. It's 4-2 for the U.S., doubling up Japan. A battle between the number 1 and number 9 seed in the championship bracket. 16 teams of the 29 that came to town for these World Championships. 16 of them qualified for the round of 16 in the championship bracket. Now, the winner of this game tonight will close out our semifinalists. North off the isolation. Charlotte gives it to Ali Kennedy, who has 3 hat tricks in the tournament. Beautiful split dodge from North. She feeds it down low. Mastriani working up top. North is next in a battle there on the perimeter with the outstanding defender Ai Hirose, number 9 in white. Apuzo ripped off. Quick stick check from Nakui. Mastriani, Kennedy off the roll. Sugaya taking care of her. Here comes the double as the horn sounds, ending the opening 15 minutes. We've been waiting all day for this one. Team USA and Team Japan right off the jump. North with the flamethrower shot. The United States has a 2-goal advantage. Charlotte has a pair. 15 minutes deep. Nakazawa and Team Japan not to be denied on ESPN+. Courtney, the United States has won the last 3 World Championships and 8 in total if you go all the way back to 1982.
When you look at the last 3 that they have won, all have not been on U.S. soil. That is not lost on the current team or the staff. They have remained focused this time around for the 2022 World Championship. They've talked to alumni, talked about that 2005 and 1986 team. When it was back in the U.S., how do we not have those same repeats? And it's about being as one, hanging out together, not looking at that big picture. They want to stay away from media, social media, and just be focused on having a fun time themselves.
Jenny's assistant coach, Alex Frank, the defensive coordinator, she had meetings with the 86 U.S. national team coach, Josie Harbor, and the message was avoid the distractions at home. There's so many things that could be necessarily taking you away from business on home soil. So far, so very good for the United States, involved in a tough struggle with Japan through 15 minutes, on top by 2. Cummings and Kobayashi on the draw, and it's Taylor Cummings' ball to start the second frame. Joe Beninati, Courtney Martinez, Connor with you. Tip of the cap to everybody in our technical crew for all their efforts throughout the week, and for the guys and gals who are out there manning cameras in the rain, and it has been a steady rain throughout this game. We hope you have your ponchos. On the go, it's McCool. Trading the ball to Paros. Going through the weave to Charlotte North, already with a couple of goals in this contest. Very similar, laser-like shots. Cummings off the flip. McCool has great acceleration. Not able to separate just yet from Mizuno, as Traynor will deal it. Apuzo's next. No shot clock in the World Championships. Closing, McCool. Face dodge gets her to the inside of the fan, and she was fouled. Marie McCool will have a free position shot.
Japan's defense moving quickly in that defensive set, getting in and around that fluid movement up top that Team USA was running. I think they did a great job of stepping up.
I see Runa Fujita in the cage for Japan and sharing time with Maiko Iwata. Fujita in there now, and it's McCool on the finish. It has been an incredibly profitable tournament so far for McCool.
Last time around was Marie McCool's first world championship in 2017, and now she is a veteran, utilizing her speed, her power, her athleticism, running both sides of the field. She is a true two-way midi. She's already had a cause turnover tonight. And this last goal, Marie McCool, being ever the veteran, taking Team USA up to 5.
Her running style, her stride, it's so fluid, it's so smooth, it's almost like she's gliding around out there. Has to be incredibly frustrating for defenders to try and reel her in. In the raindrops at Unitas Stadium, named after Pro Football Hall of Fame quarterback Johnny Unitas, so many of his best seasons as a QB for the Baltimore Colts. We're about 15 minutes away from Baltimore and Towson. McCool's going to work again with Traynor, shielded immediately by Sugaya. Apuzo has Hirose on her. The officials, led by Lenka Peshkova, resetting things for the United States. The lead is 3 for the team in gray. Earlier, Team Canada prevailing over the Czech Republic. The Czechs played extremely well in this tournament, and very much so in the quarterfinal. Coach Andracek and his team should be proud. Pass inside, Apuzo looking for Paris, a bit too high. Suzuki is there, but Traynor comes up first time on the ground ball. Scoops it here as she lost it out of her cross to Paros. Courtney, you and I saw Emily Paros last summer in the inaugural season of Athletes Unlimited. Every ground ball was hers. Pass to the interior, deflected. Fujita comes up with it, and she wants to outlet right away to Risa Suzuki. Goals in each of the last 3 pool games. That pass is a turnover. Great to see Meg Dowdy out there, 29 in the gray, but then Meg's feed was intercepted. Dowdy, hard-nosed though, comes up with a ground ball after she flattens Sugaya.
Joe, this back and forth play, again, in large part due to the weather that we're seeing. Neither is it generally happening for Team USA or Japan, both highly skilled, but their sticks, it's just wet.
This is quite the statement. This may be the hardest it's rained all day, and we have seen biblical rains at times. Pounding down on the turf, and Kayla Traynor as she cools her heels with just over 10 minutes to go in this first half. Couple of tallies from North. McCool, Traynor, and Apuzo on the board for the United States. Nakazawa and Jones for Japan. Methodical approach to this offensive set. Mastriani playing catch with the Arsenal. Kennedy has 3 hat tricks in the tournament. She's provided a lot of pop. Circle it up for Apuzo. They weave to Traynor. Off the split dodge inside. Great look! The quick stick was snapped high by Apuzo. That was beautifully set up.
Those small little 2-man games here and there. Pick and roll, draw and dump. They're all incredibly on the same page. That just takes practice, hours and hours of working with one another.
Quick stick inside, jumping for joy, Apuzo. Waterlogged and all, Team USA has a 6-2 lead.
Team USA had Japan on a swivel. They weren't rotating as fast as what we've seen them do previously. Ali Mastriani drawing a double right there. Sam Apuzo, the benefactor of the double team, and then moving the ball quickly. Nice and easy layup for Sam Apuzo.
Another native of Long Island, New York, Sam Apuzo, a 2018 Tewaaraton win with the Boston College Eagles. She's been working on Acacia Walker-Weinstein's staff for quite a while now and has seen the Eagles win a national championship as the rain is coming down in droves. Mastriani against Kobayashi. Kobayashi number 4 in points during pool play. They will play in the rain. They will not play if there is electricity and thunderstorms in the area. We've seen significant severe weather delays, but this is as severe a rain as you will find. What's that word? Torrential. Kylie Ohlmiller running through the raindrops to get it set. 6-on-6 for the United States, almost halfway through the second quarter. Courtney, take cover or get the arc ready before too long.
I can barely hear through the rain, and you've got to wonder defensively, Japan, are they screaming to one another?
Mastriani outside. It's getting hard to see the players. Arsenault on the feed. Good hitch move from North. She didn't shoot it there. Mastriani plays it on the outside. Kylie Ohlmiller, who had a huge game yesterday, on the roll dodge, working back in against Tamura. That one goes wide of Fujita. And we hear a whistle. Sort of. It's hard to hear anything other than the rain pelting down on the track, the running surface that surrounds this playing surface. Ohlmiller snaps and scores! Kylie Ohlmiller. Jenny Levy wanted better free position shooting numbers. She's getting it.
Team USA, we see them chatting about this afterwards. Kylie, a natural lefty, hedging away from that stick side, giving a little bit more space as needed. And look at that. Look at the rain. It's like a waterfall behind her right now. I'm not quite sure how any of these girls are doing it out on the field. When we say they've gone through a lot of adversity, rain delays, lightning, a lot of things, and then now they're just excited to play. So they'll play in the rain.
If we put this game into super slow-mo, it would be quite the dramatic effect. By the way, the window in front of me, we need a windshield wiper. It's coming down that hard that it's affecting the booth vision now. Great job by our camera operators to hang in there with the play. Kobayashi back to midfield, ready to take this draw opposite of Taylor Cummings. Cummings is an expert at winning it to herself, just like that. And off and running she goes. Charlotte North with Hirose on her, with just over 6 minutes to operate in the half. This game has been played through rain all along, but not nearly this heavy. This second quarter rain is impressive. McCool on the go, gliding back behind. She'll find Apuzo. Keep it working on the perimeter. Cummings off the roll dodge, lets it fly. Score! Taylor Cummings.
Smart of putting that shot low. Almost a worm burner, keeping it on the ground. It's gonna slip. It's gonna move much differently than what it would normally. We see that nice quick little roll off of the roll dodge. She is ready to shoot. Quick release. Not quite ready for it in cage, but Taylor Cummings extending the lead for Team USA, 8-2. We see that smile on her face. It's like, we're playing in this?
Completely soaking wet. Taylor Cummings, the daughter of Michael and Carol, 2 times the Big Ten Midfielder of the Year at the University of Maryland. The United States has its largest lead, just over 5 minutes to go in this rainy opening half. Possession awarded to the United States and Emily Peros. And Ohlmiller will jog with it. The jerseys and the kilts are all stuck to all the players on field. They have been running through the pouring raindrops for 26 minutes. Traynor hesitates, inside look. Great save, Fujita on Peros, who is cleaned out right at the top of that goal circle. Japan trying to get an offensive possession now. They need to clear it first. Doing the honors is Kame. And then Narumi Nukui. Lefty who always wears gloves. All the players for Japan are practically wearing it in the rain so far tonight. Fuji settling in 6-on-6. 4 minutes to play. Running time until we hit the 30-second mark of quarter 2. Semifinals will be all set once this game is complete. 3 of the top 4 seeds are already there. Nakazawa working against Trenchard. Trenchard often gets the most difficult defensive assignment from Jenny Levy. Suzuki on the go. Parros there to defend. Fuji not going to try Cummings just yet. Suzuki rolling against Parros with 3.5 to play. That's a turnover. Block rolling back out of her defensive end. Becca Block, who played collegiately at Syracuse. We mentioned Athletes Unlimited, which gets started in a couple of weeks. She was the Defender of the Year in the inaugural season. Oldmiller right on top. Lost it there. That snapshot was high on Fujita.
Team USA showing their speed coming out of the defensive end. Their transition game just as difficult to defend as their settled offense. They have a lot of speed and accuracy.
Courtney, in the rain, what type of footwear are you wearing? Are you wearing a stud cleat in this instance?
Yeah. If you're wearing turfs, you're definitely
Nothing
falling.
like that. No, like that. But I'm wondering if there's a variety, a different cleat length with rain like this. Traynor showing good footing, hopping around the goal circle with her head up, looking to pass through Hirose. She found her target there, just misfired. Chased down by Dempsey Arsenal. 2:20 left in the half. Traynor, everything seems to come through 12 in the gray. Traynor rolling back against Hirose, who's right there at her cross. Oldmiller next in line. She has her defender hung up. Oldmiller peering over the top, waiting for a cutter. Kylie gets goal line extended, gets underneath on Nukui. Flips for Traynor, no shot clock. Down to 1:50 to go. Mastriani in no hurry. She'll invert, the midfielder going back behind the cage. Now it's Apuzo. Sam Apuzo against Tamura. Gave her a little shove.
Japan's defense has been so incredibly solid, moving their feet. They are making it quite difficult. Every single goal, it's not a gimme goal. They're making Team USA really work hard.
This pass, a little too tall in tight quarters there for Apuzo. Backed up by Oldmiller. Still possession for the United States in gray. Inside roll was a beauty! Oldmiller scores again!
Kylie Oldmiller, her bread and butter in college, was working around the goal circle. We see right here, her eyes are up, that quick little movement. As we see a movement coming around, it looks like the referees pointed that Kame may have pushed her into the crease, kind of hard to tell from our angle. Looked almost like a tiptoe and then just a graceful fall. Nevertheless, goal counts. United States up by 7. I don't think the score reflects just exactly how tough each team is playing on the field. Team USA working really hard for these goals, and Japan playing tough defense.
If we were keeping time of possession closely, you'd say the time of possession has heavily favored the United States. Team Japan has not had a lot of offensive sets. Maybe Kobayashi can change that as she draws against Mastriani. Impressive North Carolina Tar Heel, who was part of a national championship winner close to 2 months ago. She gets the draw cleanly, and Team USA goes right back to work in the final 20 seconds of the half. What was a 4-2 advantage after 15, Team USA outscoring Japan 5-0 in the second. Looking for more, time ticking. Traynor under 10 seconds. Traynor on the sneak attack, just sent it high. Runa Fujita was there at the post. That is a patented move for Traynor. She doesn't need a lot of room. Just a sliver of space is often enough for her to convert. 4 seconds to go. Oldmiller flings it inside. It'll land on the turf, and that'll do it for the opening half. with the United States in front 9-2. Team USA squaring off with Japan. The United States aiming for 4 straight world championships. Ole Miller showing off her offensive creativity. We will share more highlights with you in just a few moments.
The Edge Pro Carbon is the latest complete stick from Lacrosse, featuring true offset technology and ISO work mesh to help drive the ball right into the sweet spot. And paired with our latest Edge Pro Carbon handle, this stick is guaranteed to help you find your edge over the competition. You can test and buy new Brine products all week long at their tent in the Fan Village and festival event at Boucher College. Gate Lacrosse is an official equipment sponsor of the U.S. Women's National Team. Visit the Gate Lacrosse tent in the Fan Village to purchase limited edition World Championship handles, summer exclusives, and unreleased equipment. Gate Lacrosse, be legendary. World Lacrosse is the International Olympic Committee recognized governing body for lacrosse, responsible for providing effective leadership and governance of the sport. World Lacrosse has 77 member federations and hosts 6 world championships on a quadrennial basis. The vision for World Lacrosse is that lacrosse is recognized and played by all countries worldwide and is an Olympic sport. To keep up with World Lacrosse, members and championships, follow at World Lacrosse on social media and online at worldlacrosse.sport. Gilman Gear is a proud sponsor of the World Lacrosse Women's Championship. Innovative design features a net that doesn't need stringing and a net that pings when a goal is scored. Get Gilman Gear for the best goal on the market.
At MedStar Health, we're doing everything we can to prepare for what if. Like, what if you need care right now? We have the region's largest network of urgent care centers. Or what if you think you're out of options? Patients continue to turn to us after losing hope elsewhere. Or what if you can't get to care? Our mobile care units bring care to our communities. Because treating people means being prepared to treat them when what if happens. MedStar Health. It's how we treat people.
Japanese lacrosse fans saw the United States turn in a very solid second quarter against their favorites. 5 unanswered goals for the top seeds, and the United States have a 9-2 advantage after 30 minutes. Joe Beninati and Courtney Martinez, Connor with you, and I give you one job. You had to bring the shower curtain. Look at the glass behind us. It has been a rain-soaked first half of play. The United States able to separate from Japan. What's the primary reason why?
It all goes back to the draw control. Team USA is winning it cleanly. They're able to push the fast break, but I have to credit Japan's defense, which they've played primarily 90% of that entire first half. First and second quarter, it's a lot of defense, and they are making Team USA really work for their goals.
Let's get to the highlights with the United States in control, thanks in large part to the way Kayla Traynor operates this offense.
Anytime she gets a defensive player hung up, it means that opportunities are going to be created, either for her or her teammates. but she shows her range with her power at the 11-meter free position shot.
Don't forget Sam Apuzo. How could you when she's off on the business end of these passes?
She does such a great job of reading when and where to cut when her teammates have the ball. Around the goal circle, she is deadly with her cuts, making the defense oftentimes pay.
Nakazawa for Japan would also make herself heard from.
She is so athletic, physical, a hard-nosed dodger. They've been credited twice with her capability to beat her defensive player with her speed. However, they need to get the ball in her stick more frequently and not lose possession.
Team USA has the upper hand when it comes to shots in the opening 30 minutes, managing to put 10 of those 13 on cage and testing both netminders for Team Japan, Iwata and Fujita, as we are set to play in the third quarter. They've shortened the halftime with the severe weather that's been in the area in the last few days. What was it, Courtney? It was Saturday that was the worst of times with respect to severe weather delays. Nakazawa going to goal. Snapshot, she scores.
Listen, we talked about what Japan needed to do, corrections they needed to make, and it all started with the draw control. They won the draw this time around, first draw of the third quarter, and got the stick into Nakazawa. The ball into Nakazawa's stick, dodging and weaving through three defensive players. All it takes is speed, agility, couple moves here and there, and Japan could be back into this game, but winning the draw control is first and foremost.
6 unanswered comes to an end with the second tally from Nakazawa. She had 3 hat tricks in pool play, did Japan's number 11. The Japanese get the draw. Suzuki will flip. 6 on 6 at this end of the field, just getting going in the second half. Team USA attempting to earn a berth. What's at stake? A shot at the semifinals in the 2022 World Lacrosse Women's World Championships on ESPN. The semis that'll come your way tomorrow on ESPN2. England and Canada is already set as one matchup. Nakazawa going against Trenchard. Trenchard forcing the ball out of her cross. Australia plays the winner of this game. The United States was successful against Australia in Pool A play. 29 teams arrived in Towson, Maryland for this World Championships. No team has ever won the title on home soil. The United States would love to change that. Uganda not able to be here due to challenges in the visa process. Japan working on the outside, just getting to the interior of the fan. That's Suzuki, covered up by Peros. Next in line, Maya Taga. She had a 3-goal game against Argentina in pool play. Japan, the champions of Pool E. On the end line, just catching up to that, it's Sakurai, who had a couple of goals against New Zealand yesterday in the round of 16. Off this turnover, the United States having some issues on the clear. McCool will jet it back across the midline. Marie McCool picking up steam. North off the hitch. That familiar move, the pass then to an unsuspecting McCool, chased down by Cummings.
I sound like a broken record, but with the rain that we've been seeing throughout warm-ups in this entire game, a lot of miscues generally that Team USA does not have, nor Japan. Lack of possession happening, due to sticks that are wet, the pockets being much different and way more slippery than what they're used to.
There was rain in the Canada-Czech Republic game, but it was minimal at best. Nowhere near what we saw in the second quarter. Apuzo lined up against Sugaya. Makes a break for it, feeds, looks for the stuff attempt. Score! Kayla Traynor.
Without knowing what was going to happen, I knew what was going to happen. Sam Apuzo looking to fake her defensive players out like she was going to carry it high, knowing that Kayla Traynor was back behind X, behind the goal, ready to cut into that space.
Courtney Martinez, Connor, you've been a great player. You've been a coach. I want you to put your coaching hat on. How many set pieces might you think are there? Set plays off of those free positions from the bad angles. That was obviously choreographed.
Right. I wouldn't say set plays when they say you be here, you be there, but it's if we have the ball on this side of the field, you know, Kayla or Charlotte North, she can do that same thing as well. Find yourself in a position where you can cut to get that ball.
Is it a verbal communication or maybe a wink and a nudge? What goes on prior to that whistle?
A simple look,
Yeah.
and that's all they need. They know which side of the cage they're going to be cutting to as well.
Charlotte North in possession, working with Mastriani off the split dodge. 6-on-6. The United States is comfortably ahead of Team Japan. The U.S., the reigning 3-time world champions. They've done it 4 times once before. 89, 93, 97, and 01. Traynor moving in against Sugaya. This is Apuzo for Kayla once more. That flashy stick work, so familiar around goal line extended. Sugaya not taking the bait. She's the strongest physical player on Team Japan, 21 in white. Arsenault, another glider a la McCool. Such an effortless stride. North, covered up by Hirose. They zip the ball around again. Traynor, no shot clock. You can go through your passing paces. Mastriani isolating against Inoue.
Look at the quickness with which Japan moves defensively. They break their feet down, the ABCs of defense. Approach, breakdown, making contact.
Sugaya called for a foul there on Traynor. Jenny Levy was saying about this Japanese team that they're very, very well organized. They have intention for everything that they do on the field, and she expected them to be a good challenge tonight. Traynor with a rocket off the crossbar. Big rebound to Mastriani. Tee it up for Kennedy. She gets inside and flicked that one wide of the goal. In cage for Team Japan, Runa Fujita, who used to live in Brazil. Speaks 3 different languages. Coach Shibata was giving us that information prior to this tournament clash. Sugaya looking to clear with Nukui. And help comes from Ai Hirose, the first Japanese player who actually signed with the Women's Pro League. The old WPLL in 2019.
When you look at Japan clearing the ball, they can take their time. There's no shot clock. They want to make sure to do it safely. A few times they've turned it over in transition.
Hirose kicks it ahead. Taken up off the turf by Takano. She lost it to Kennedy. Transition time for the United States. They've got a 3-on-2 break. Traynor goes in. Glides, feeds inside. This is a layup. A layup for Sam Apuzo.
No sooner than I had mentioned taking care of the ball. Ball slips out of Japan's stick. Fast break, 3-on-2 situation. Find the open player, really stretch the defense. It's exactly what they did. Sam Apuzo getting low, creating depth.
Apuzo with a hat trick, giving the United States its largest lead of the night. The Japanese asking for time. You get 2 timeouts, Court, per 60-minute game. Those timeouts do not carry over should the game require sudden victory overtime. We have seen from time to time with temperatures soaring into the 90s and the humidity here in the Mid-Atlantic so tough to deal with. We've seen water breaks. We've not had those tonight. Those are of a 90-second duration, except for what's coming down out of the sky.
Right, that kind of water.
And for the first time by my recollection, C-43, Waters on the bench for the United States has not come on to sub in for Liz Hogan. Hogan has gone the distance in goal for the United States. What a great story she is. Number 2 in the gray. cut from Team USA in the very, very last phases of tryouts in 2013 and 2017, but she stuck with it, and now the crease is hers 5 years later.
You know, oftentimes it's just a mix of the players, how they work with one another, or the coaching staff. You know, they're looking for different things each and every time around. New coaching staff this year. Jenny Levy, head coach, assistant Joe Spallina, another assistant, Altig. I mean,
she's the goalie coach.
Yes, they have so many coaches. They see different things, and sometimes when you have a continual staff, Ricky Fried had been the previous head coach for several years, you know, everybody has something different that they want to run, and Team USA this time around, they don't play how the old Team US used to play. It was a lot of high pressure everywhere. Not saying one way is right or wrong, it's just different styles, and so you need a different type of player.
The rain is picking up again. Kylie Ohlmiller jogging with the ball, stride for stride there. Narumi Nakui. Great communicator on D is Nakui. When Jenny Levy was putting this team together with that coaching staff, when they were assembling this troop, she insisted that the players have versatility. She wanted to move them around and create different ways of attacking. North, comfortable at the offensive end any way you want to play it. She had 2 of the first 3 goals, did Charlotte tonight. Overplaying the passing lane was Nakui. This will go out of bounds. It'll be Japan ball.
Again, I don't think the score necessarily reflects the competitiveness, but the miscues that they're having in the clears are just killing them.
Those are unforced errors. That's self-inflicted wounds that you cannot have against a team as powerful as the #1 seed Team USA. You keep giving them possession, you are playing with fire. 11-3 for the United States. Traynor and Apuzo on the board after Nakazawa started the second half scoring. Nearing the top of the hour, Joe and Courtney with you, 5:50 to go in the third quarter. Court, this is the last one that you and I will be working together during this World Championships. Wish you well while you're on your way to Alabama for the World Games. You'll see the format of 6s, little high tempo, excitement.
Incredibly quick style of game, one that hope to see in the 2028 Olympics. That's the goal.
Snapshot score on the move, the put away for Taylor Cummings. Taylor gets her second of the night.
Team USA taking their time, taking advantage of some quick doubles that Japan is sending. When a quick double comes, move that ball, but you have to have cutters, and Team USA is recognizing that in Taylor Cummings. The first cutter, ideally not the one that you want to be open.
We saw in that cutaway replay, Cummings' first move was to make that finger point right at Kylie Ohlmiller to say thank you for the heads-up pass, and she gets the congratulations on the sideline. Team USA in a very good groove now. Cummings with 3 points on the night. It's a 9-goal advantage with 4.5 to play. Courtney, when you look at 22 in the gray inside the circle, Ali Mastriani, what's the next step for her? Where can her game improve? She's already a very special talent, but what's the next level?
Oh gosh, she's so good at the draw. She's quite the dodger, great in transition. If I had to pick something, it would be on the defensive end. I think Coach Levy had mentioned that as well for all of her midfielders. They obviously have a knack for goal. 50-50 balls, they're all over them, but defensively, oftentimes they forget, break those feet down, move them in one-on-one situations.
Jenny had a nice way of saying that to us this morning when we caught up with her. She's like, well, we can boost their concentration a little bit. That means yell at them to play defense, is what that means. North playing hide and seek. Traynor follows and scores. That's nifty work from 2 superstar talents. Traynor with another hat trick. North with a helper.
Team USA so very unselfish as they maneuver back and forth looking to get a step on their defensive player. You have cutters coming and that little pop into open space, quick change of direction. They know when and where one another is going to be. They always want options to the left and right side of the goal cage.
I hear you and Rachel DiCecco often talking about the two-person games, the mini games in the 6-on-6. I'm guessing a lot of that stems from box lacrosse north of the border in Canada, the two-man game, the two-player game.
Yes. I mean, it's been here for quite some time, right? But it definitely stemmed from the indoor game. A lot of these teams elect to do the two-man game. They play small-sided stuff in practice a lot. You know, a lot of the collegiate teams, same thing. They'll even do box during their fall season. You know, just getting comfortable with their stick, getting used to working with one other person, or even the three-man game, which involves another player, the flip passes, just being creative. But most definitely, I think all that fun stuff comes from the Canadian side.
The rain has subsided. Maika Tomura looking to clear with Miku Sugaya in the midfield for Japan. As the challenge comes from Traynor on the ride and redefend. Back to the lefty keeper, Runa Fujita, who had 4 saves against New Zealand yesterday. She played 3 quarters. Backed up now by Iwata, who's playing in her 3rd World Championships. Hirose on the clear. Fujita to the midline. Takano connecting the dots with Sugaya. One more for Hirose, and it's now 6-on-6 for Kokoro Nakazawa. Just finished her 2nd year at Louisville, where she plays under the direction of Scott Teeter, who is the head coach of the national team of Canada. Canada and England in one semifinal tomorrow. The United States closing in on the other semifinal berth and a potential date with Australia. Jones on the flip for Taga. Block takes her. Taga rolls back, lets it go. Nice step out save by Liz Hogan.
Another one of those low angle shots for Japan. Ideally, they're looking to get a little bit of a better angle. They have the capability to run solid 1v1 offense.
Speaking of which, here comes Mastriani right up the gut. She scores.
Team USA once again showing their speed in the middle of the field. This was a fast break all the way from a save at the opposite end. Quick transition. Allie Kennedy, one of those workers in the middle of the field, number 30 right there. As we look, she gets the ball into the ever-capable hands. Allie Mastriani, we talked about her knack for going to goal. She has another level of speed. She's running hard. Next thing you know, she gets inside of that restraining line and kicks it up a notch.
Hugs on the sideline for Allie. Jenny Levy, the head coach, was saying, you know, she really shined late in the selection process for this Team USA squad. As many as, 70-plus players were competing in 10 different training camps. They narrowed it down. The roster for the World Championships, just 18. And Jenny would love to see that number climb, and we hope it will in the future.
Team USA, they're so deep. They have so many players to choose from. And while I do understand and I get potential 8 games in 11 days is so very difficult, just the fact of other countries having 23 players, I think that's probably the most difficult part, and it would just continue to set Team USA apart.
Horn sounds. We're 3/4 of the way through regulation on a dominating night for Kayla Traynor. Traynor, north, on and on. The gals in gray all over Japan. You are watching the 2022 World Lacrosse Women's World Championship on ESPN. Thank goodness somebody turned the faucet off. It stopped raining here at Unitas Stadium. Look at the way the United States has divvied up the goals tonight, Court.
Unselfish play, that's the best way to describe that. There are so many different weapons offensively for Team USA. You can't shut any one player down because there are a ton more to step up, but they are truly a collective, special bunch. They like to move the ball. And one of my favorite things that Jenny said on our call earlier today, head coach for Team USA, is at the end of each game, all the players are wondering who it's going to be because they have no idea of the stats.
Marie McCool hoping to keep draw control possession for the United States. That has been the tune throughout. You can see them doubling up the Japanese in that stat. So many different players that they could put inside the circle. Courtney, they have so many different wing players who can play around the circle and go and get the ground balls. It's an embarrassment of riches at times for the United States. In control against Team Japan. Japan coming through Pool E, seeded 9th in this championship bracket. They knocked off New Zealand yesterday, did it comfortably, 12-3. In pool play, they had a 5-goal win over Haudenosaunee, destroyed Argentina and China and Switzerland for that matter. They were the highest scoring team in pool play in the entire tournament among 29 different entries. Ground ball on the scoop, United States with it. Arsenault fanned on the pass. She lost it there. Suzuki playing catch on the outside with Tomura. One more look. This will get away from Kobayashi. Shaded by Ohlmiller. Just dipping a toe into the fourth. If the United States keeps this lead, they'll have a semifinal date with Australia tomorrow. England and Canada in the other half of the bracket. You'll see those games on ESPN2. Mayataga working in. Lizzie Colson's first call on the night, 25 in the gray, there to defend. Former National Defender of the Year at Maryland. She's playing mostly in a midfield defensive posture for this national team. Becca Block hawking the likes of Hikari Takano.
I like how Japan is taking their time, but they do need to be aggressive to goal. They have a lot of ground to make up.
Nakazawa has 2 tallies, working against Arsenault. Floated back out Suzuki, swinging on around to Kobayashi. Mercer is there for the U.S. Feed to the interior inside the fan, off the cross of Takano. Block goes round and round as comes up on the scoop for Jones. Then Suzuki off the split dodge. She's not able to shoot. Tremendous defensive pressure by Colson. Just when you think you have a second to collect your thoughts, she's right there on your cross.
So difficult when you have her defending you. She's quick, she's aggressive, she's tough. That looked clean to me. Granted, we're 100 feet up from where everybody else is at. Referees have the best view on the field.
Officials headed up by Lenka Peshkova. Less than 12 minutes to go regulation, running time to the last 2 minutes. Nakazawa's pass for Suzuki gets away, it'll roll out of bounds, that's a turnover. Far too many of those for Team Japan. It's the simple passes and catches that get away that have to hurt if you're thinking along the lines of Yuko Shibata, the coach for Japan.
That's probably one of their most disappointing parts, when they clear the ball or offensively, not even culminating into a shot. They are such a good team, and again, they've been doing so well on the defensive end.
I know you were happy to see Lizzie Colson get a couple of goals yesterday against Hong Kong, China. The United States whitewashing them 21-0. Cummings off the sweep. Pass that was knocked down. Good defensive pressure by Fuji. Collected off the carpet by Mizuno, and away comes Team Japan. Mizuno flexes it on. Tomura going against Ohlmiller. Drop it off. Hirose, the defender, didn't want to take it to the cage herself. Hirose, who has assists against Haudenosaunee in Argentina, in this tournament. She's rattled down. Becca Block in transition for Team USA.
It's instances like that. That was just miscommunication by the Japanese team. Not talking through that ground ball. Very easy. They were in front. Either one of them could have picked up the ground ball. They both kind of stalled, waited a second, and then they ran into one another. That's kind of how the second and third quarter have gone for them thus far, and it's continuing into the fourth.
This is the 8th time Japan has appeared in a World Championships. Folks at World Lacrosse, with a big thank you to USA Lacrosse for all their help in running this tournament. Traynor turns the corner. That familiar look-away shot gives the United States its 15th goal of the game.
Kayla Traynor, it looks like she's just playing cat and mouse with her defensive player who often gets hung up. Whenever that happens, you better watch out. You know that she is looking for one side to the other. What's amazing, and a lot of people don't realize, she is not a natural lefty, but she is just comfortable, and it happened back when she was at Syracuse. One of the teammates went down, and Coach Gates said, I really need you to play the left side. And oftentimes she says she may even be more comfortable with that hand now.
If there's anybody who could teach you to play left-handed, it's Gary Gate. Associate head coach now for the women's senior national team. Scott Teeter pushing the buttons for Team Canada, victorious earlier today. They took care of the Czech Republic 15-7. England over Israel 13-5. That was the first game on turf here at Unitas Stadium. Australia getting better and better, Courtney. The Aussies, as they took care of Haudenosaunee with ease, 17-3. All of a sudden, that green and gold offense is clicking.
Exactly.
And they're going to be making things interesting for the United States, it would appear, in about 8.5 minutes.
Their first couple of games within the Pool A bracket, it was tough. They were stagnant, and now they're working. You know, many of their players are still in the States coaching. Hannah Nielsen, Jen Adams, and now that they're all together, the coaches, the players.
United States drilled Australia 16-5. That was Saturday night. That was the game that was delayed till a 10 p.m. Eastern time start due to severe weather. We had significant rain in the second quarter of this game tonight, but now with no rain left in the clouds, it's 15-3 for Team USA halfway through the fourth. The most vocal player in the dressing room is Maya Taga. She has the ball right now. Little flip to Nakazawa. Kokoro with an incredibly bright future. Familiar black shoes back behind the cage. On the turn, Sakurai, his pass just gets away from Kobayashi. Mercer with a scoop for the United States. You know who I haven't seen tonight? At least I haven't said her name. The one that I told you about, the name that was going to be the tongue twister of all. Sihomi Hosome. Haven't seen 15 in the white for Japan, at least hasn't made a touch of the ball. Mastriani has with North. Move it quickly. Bang! Around the horn it came for Molly Hendrick.
In transition, Team USA just putting on a show here tonight. Dempsey Arsenal, Ali Mastriani, Charlotte North. Movement of the ball is what just makes it so incredibly difficult for the defense. And Team USA doing it with such ease right now.
We talked with Jenny Levy and Joe Spallina leading into this tournament. Joe's the offensive coordinator for Jenny. And when you ask about Hendrick, they talk about her as a glue player. They also talk about her as a zone buster. She's got range shooting ability from distance. There, point blank against Fujita, no chance. It's 16-3 now with 6:15 to go in the fourth. Draw circle win for Cummings.
It's almost too easy for Team USA. I mean, just no opportunities for Japan to even come up with that. Their quick hands, wrist action, putting exactly where they want it. All the draw takers not even electing to get it to anyone on the circle.
Becca Block leisurely brings it ahead. Kennedy finds Peros, and the U.S. sets up 6-on-6. It was a 4-2 game after 15 minutes. Then the rains came, literally. For the United States, though, that second quarter, pretty darn good, 5-0. 9-2 at the halftime break, 13-3 at the third quarter, and goals in the fourth from Traynor and Hendrick, tacking on to matters here at Unitas Stadium. Charlotte North against Hirose, who's defended her pretty well.
She has incredibly quick feet, holds her body positioning.
Kennedy pops this one for Colson inside, that gets away. New keeper has come on for Team Japan. Maiko Iwata is in there. Iwata playing in her third World Championships, now guarding the goal. Number 4 in the white for Japan, making the scoop here. She'll bowl this one ahead on the ground pass for Fuji.
I think the tough thing that I see is they are clearing the ball in white. It's almost like they're afraid to either make a pass or run by a Team USA defensive player, and they definitely were not playing like that in the first quarter. They were aggressive, they were taking chances, not being so cautious.
Hirose going to goal, lets it fly, score! Hirose.
Hirose, number 9 for Team Japan. We see that long clear, catching Team USA in their pressure ride. Love her placement on the shot, on the run. Defensive player, coming up big with the shot.
After every goal, Lacrosse is checked by the officials. This may be an illegal cross. So the goal from Hirose is going to come down off the board. After each goal, Court, fans can see in the replays or even in the live cut that the players are dropping their sticks, bouncing their sticks, sliding their sticks, a bunch of different ways. The goal scorer must have her cross checked. Hirose, illegal cross, no goal. It stays 16-3 with just over 3 minutes to go. Stop time in the final 2 minutes.
You know, we talked about that early on, that surprised it hasn't happened more frequently with all the sticks being wet, the pockets, the depths changing for each and every player, and of course happens to a defender.
As Apuzo works it, here's Charlotte North. She can commiserate. She's had a few goals overturned due to an illegal cross in this tournament. Stick check there, supplied to Dempsey Arsenal. Her opposite, number 18, Mizuno, called for the foul. The United States is on its way to a semifinal date with Australia. North shows the hitch move, goes underneath, and scores. Charlotte North. This one will stand. Charlotte gets her third of the game. She had 2 of the first 3 back in the opening quarter, bringing the tally to 17-3.
As we look at this move right here, little chicken wing action by Charlotte North, number 10 for Team USA. She's making that move one-handed. Due to the yellow card, Japan being a player down, Mizuno.
Kanako Mizuno will sit. Player up now for the United States. This issue no longer in doubt. Team USA will meet Team Australia, who they played in Pool A. Back on Saturday, the United States thumping the Aussies 16-5. Australia looking very solid of late, with a quarterfinal win over Haudenosaunee that was not close. England and Canada, that should be another terrific rematch. How soon will Canada be able to solve goalkeeper Britt Reid? That was one of the questions Canadian head coach Scott Teeter had for us earlier in the day. That game was tight for a long, long while, and England has firepower to stay with Canada. Apuzo brings it in. One more look at a sidewinder from North that sails high. The U.S. getting some work on its player-up formations.
We hear the direction coming in from the sideline. Joe Spallina directing players into different spaces, who he wants where. Utilizing this as a bit of practice. I imagine that they're going to see more of it in the semifinal and final matchup.
Traynor bluffs a shot from a bad angle, works it up top. That pass was low. That looked like it was a wet pocket type feed. Behind the back attempt that sails high, as North was looking to get fancy. Just over a minute left. Team USA will be a perfect 6-0 through pool play and through the championship bracket. Downed Hong Kong, China yesterday, taking care of Japan tonight. It'll be official in 50 seconds. The look for Hendrick, she was chopped. And Hendrick, looking to the officials, about to get a 11-meter free position. The daughter of Mary and Ed, North Carolina standout, former Tar Heel captain. Hendrick not going to shoot it. Whistle called. Traynor was there. There was shooting space called. So Kayla will work from the severe hash. Feed, fire, just snapped wide. Hendrick missed the corner. 44 seconds left. U.S. still working 6-on-5 against Japan. Charlotte North, familiar ball fakes high in the cross there. Around it comes for Traynor with 24 seconds left. Picking her up on the perimeter, that's Inoue. Another shooting space call before McCool would let it fly.
That was an excellent job. Almost 2 full minutes of playing player down defense.
McCool on the go, snaps it home. Adding to her totals and bringing Team USA's tally to 18.
As we watch this replay, Marie McCool just using her speed, nothing fancy, getting a quick, hard step. She's an incredibly fast player with a good start. Final cap for Team USA so far, 18-3. Again, a majority of the game has been played on their offensive end. They've been patient and diligent, not forcing a lot.
Fewest goals Jenny's group has scored in this tournament so far, the 15 against England when they were finishing up play in Pool A. Mastriani, one more draw with Suzuki. Fastest player on this team, according to head coach Yuko Shibata. The United States, one final draw possession in a statistical category they have dominated throughout the tournament. Colson towards the goal, vacuumed up by Iwata, and that'll do it. The United States, an 18-3 victor over Japan.
A hard-fought game. Japan really made Team USA work. This was not a stalling game for Team USA. It was a battle through and through with a fast, athletic, physical Japanese team. It's just a matter now of them connecting those passes. So this is a team certainly going to see in the future in international play. Minor tweaks here and there, but Team USA showing their dominance.
Courtney, as usual, I had a blast working with you. We'll see you in a couple of weeks for Athletes Unlimited on ESPN. Looking forward to that, and best wishes for you at the World Games in Alabama that's coming. As far as the 2022 World Lacrosse Women's World Championship bracket on ESPN is concerned, we have our semifinalists. There you go. Team USA and Australia set for 7 p.m. Eastern. England and Canada to follow at 9. Both of those games on ESPN2 as we work our way towards Saturday's gold medal match. For the United States, scoring early and often, it was again the Kayla Traynor Charlotte North show. North blowing away the Japanese keeper. The United States through all the raindrops all over Japan by the final of 18-3. For Courtney Martinez-Connor, for all the men and women in our crew, Joe Beninati, thanks for your time. This has been a presentation of ESPN. The United States off to the semifinals.